everyone. I'm Mohammad Maliga from BSCS3. So this is my topic. So discuss and differentiate what is law and what is ethic. Information technology. So law. Law is the system of rules which a particular country or community recognizes as regulating the actions of its members, in which it may enforce by the imposition of penalties. They were taken to court for breaking the law. So if you broke the law, you will get to punish or pay for your penalties. So law is a system of rules created and enforced through social or governmental institution to regulate behavior, or with its precise definition a matter of long-standing debate. It has been variously described as a science and the art of justice. So, law is it was created just to give a justice for everyone. And information technology ethics is the study of ethical issues arising out of the use and development of electronic technologies. Its goal is to identify and formulate answers to questions about the moral basis of individual responsibilities and action, as well as the normal underpinnings of public policy. So, we have the types of law. So, first is admiralty or maritime law. Admiralty law regulates economic transaction and property disputes involving marine trade, sailors, navigation, or land-based activity. That is maritime in nature. Admiralty law is not, however, synonyms of the law of the sea, which is the realm of international public law and deals with its rights to navigation, minerals, or coastal water just jurisdiction. So this law focuses on the involving on marine trade. So sailors, navigation, and the next is business cooperate law. So cooperate law involves the formation, dissolution, and all other legal aspects of the administration of the corporation. Sorry. Typical duties of corporate lawyers include mergers, acquisitions, internal reorganization, or disputes between corporations and individuals concerning liability, patience, and compliance with state federal law, as well as international accords. A legal professional whose sole client as corporation is generally known as in-house counsel. So this law is focuses on the business. So we know that if you need to cooperate in your every members of your business. So civil rights law, it aims to balance competing interests between institutions of government on the one hand and individuals or groups of individuals on other. Lawyers in such practice may work on cases involving discrimination and unfair practices that infringe on rights and liberties such as expression, employment, housing, education, and other entitlements. So, criminal law focuses on behaviors that are sanctioned under criminal code and defined as illegal. So, prosecutors and district attorneys sanction illegal behavior, while criminal defense lawyers present clients accused of criminal activity. Both prosecution and defense professionals deal with the issues of individual liberty, basic rights, and responsibilities. In some common law countries and other than that, US and the most civil law countries, the role of prosecutors or procurator and defense lawyer or advocate are separated more clearly into different. So this law is focuses on those criminal activities. So if you do a criminal activities, you should pay in the court. Or so entertainment law pro, predominantly relates to intellectual property law, but is more specially centered on the rights and royalties issues to media and the arts, music, television, cinema, or athletics. Sports lawyer ensures compliance with the regulation for professionals or amateur athletics and may represent an athlete for a contractual transaction. With the rapid development of information technology and social media, entertainment lawyers operate is an environment of constant changes. So if you have, so if you are the one of the athlete of if your country, there's a lot of law and before you enter in this job, environmental law concerns as a multitude of statutes, treaties, regulation, and convention based in state, federal, or transitional law. Legal professionals practicing in this field may represent government agencies, advocacy organizations, or individuals. Environmental lawyers often focuses on the cases involving natural resources management, the curbing of pollution, or disputes about land and littoral use. Public health components are increasingly common in the practice of environmental law. So this law is focuses on our environment, and usually it helps to resolve our just there's a lot of pollution such as water, air pollutions. Because if you did not care for this or focus on this, it will destroy our environment. So this is very important. So family law focuses on legal relations between individuals in the context of the family. Lawyers in this field typically work in smaller firms and specialize in a variety of areas, ranging from child welfare through adoption to divorce, child abuse, legitimately civil unions, domestic partnerships, and marriages are among the main aspects of family lawyers practice. So as we said, so it is focused on the child welfare, through adoption, even divorce, child abuse, and legitimacy, civil unions, and domestic partnerships and marriages. So this is the family law. So health law is an involving field that focuses on legislation related to healthcare. Health law attorneys may represent patient clinics, insurance companies, or individual health practitioners. The federal government employs attorneys in this field to oversee the crafting, implementation, and enforcement of policies. Health law specialists also work on academic institutions and biotechnology and pharmaceutical companies. So immigration law. So work on the individual clients at all stages of the naturalization process. So other aspects of the professional relate to refuge and asylum seekers, as well to individuals into country without legal permission. This field law of varies significantly from country to country. Much of its practice depends on international treaties, bilateral accords, and political conventions. So intellectual property law focuses on protecting the rights of inventors. So this one is authors and business to their tangible and intangible creations. Inventions and symbols. Legal professionals in this field are often experts in a particular domain, such as science, the arts, or an industry. For example, trademark or copyright. So this is copyright is we know that this is very important. So if you didn't write the owner or cite just like citation of the owner, so it will become plagiarism if you don't do that. So in every work that we copy, we should have a copyright. Or attorneys manage the legal aspects of contracts, visual identity, brand names, or slogans. Technological advances, notably in digital reproduction and transmission, make this a dynamic field of law. So, international law. So, is broad in its conception and can be broken down into private and public sectors. In this private sector, specialists in international law may work in finance and trade divisions of multinational corporations. Familiarity with business essentials, as well as corporate law or intellectual property law, will be helpful in this field. In the public international law, the practitioners would work on cases that involve dealings between the sovereign nations. Familiarity with com- comparative law or public international law would be most helpful for effective practice in this field. Both private and public international law are interdisciplinary in nature and would involve understanding of the difference between common law and civil law system across borders. So, labor law. So, is concerned with the relations between workers and their employers. So, on matters ranging on from wages and compensation through harassment to discrimination based on the gender, disability, or age. Labor law often involves collective bargaining, and unions. Attorneys in this field may represent individual clients, a union, government, regulatory agency, or an employer. So this one is focuses on the labor, our employees and workers. So military law involves codes and procedures that govern legal matters and the armed forces. Since 1951, military has been based on the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Legal experts in these fields are typically members of the armed force, serving the Judge Advocate General Corps. So, personal injury law deals with the intentional or unintentional wrongdoing that affects individuals physically or psychologically. Experts in the field are well versed in the torts law, may work cases involving medical malpractice, accidental collisions, productivity, wrongful death, or workplace injury. Many cases are settled out of court in this field of legal practices. So, real estate law involves land or construction, ownership, development, litigation, tenant rights, and or landlord disputes. Attorneys in this field may work on residential or commercial transactions, review contracts, or work on planning and other government of offices. So this one is focuses on the land, any construction ownership. So tax law. So tax law is a dynamic field that deals with this domestic and international transactions because of the frequent modification to local, state, and federal codes. That complexity and fiscal policy that guides these changes. Experts in tax law engaged in a continuous education at greater rates than in many other fields of the law. Apart from the ensuring the legality of the levies on economic transaction law, tax lawyership helps clients to reduce fiscal liabilities. So we know we are already familiar with tax law, so we need to pay tax in uh, every product. So mechanism of access control. So an access control mechanism is a security safeguard. Hardware and software features physically controls operating procedures and management procedures and various combination of this designed to detect and deny unauthorized access and permit authorized access to an information system or physical facility. So in this mechanism of access control, in the computer, this is the one who will give an access to the client, or uh, who will be the one to manage to give an uh, authority to and every client to access. So this is very important because this if the user is not in the database register users, so it will not give a access to this person because it would be result in a bad, or it will
Hi everyone, my name is Nasrolah. I'm Digandang from BSCS. This is my busy presentation about cybersecurity. Discuss the function of the different cybersecurity in our country. What is Cybercrime Prevention Act 2012 CPA? The Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, officially recorded on Public Act number 10175, is a law in the Philippines that approved on September 12, 2012. It aims address legal issue concerning online instruction and internet in the Philippines. The purpose of cyber prevention. The Philippine Cyber Prevention Act of 2012 focused on the preemption, prevention, and prosecution of cyber crimes such as offense against the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of computer data and system, computer-related offenses, and content-related offenses. Number 2. Crime Court on Cyber Warrant AM number 171103 CS SC. On July 2018, the Supreme Court promulgated the new rule of cybercrime warrant AM number 171103 CS SC. The new set of rules was issued after the passage of the Cyber Prevention Act, Republic Act number 10175 in the prevention for special procedures to implement various specific remedies under the said of law. The new rule of become effective on August 15, 2018. The role of cybercrime warrant also include four types of warrant. A. Warrant to disclosure computer data. B. Warrant ang isa ay warrant to interrupt computer data. At warrant to search, size, and examine computer data. And warrant to examine computer data. Electronic Commerce of 2012 CPA. On July 14, 2000, President Joseph E. Estrada signed into law RA 8792, an act providing for the recognition and for use electronic commercial and non-commercial transaction for unlaw use, theories, and other purpose, also known as Electronic Commerce Act. The act aims to facilitate domestic international dealings, transaction agreement, and contact and exchange and storage of information through the utilization of electronic, optical, and similar medium mode. Instrumentally and technology recognized such as authenticity and reliability of electronic data message or electronic document related to such activities and to promote the universal use electronic transaction in the government and by the general public. The new law defines in Section 5 theories what considers electronic data message, electronic signature, and electronic document as follows. Electronic signature refers to any distinct mark, characteristic, and or sound electronic form. Residently identify a person of attached on the local associated with the electronic data message or electronic data document and methodology of procedure deployment adapted by a person of executed or adopted by such a person with interaction and authorization of approving an electronic data message and electronic document. The new law gives legal recognition of electronic data message, electronic document, and electronic signature. Legal recognition of electronic data message. Ito naman yung electronic data message. Information shall not be defined validity and enforceability solely on the ground that is the one form of the electronic data message, purposing to give rise to such a legal effect, or the emergency recognized reference that electronic data message when the law recognized that document be presented or related in the against form. The requirement is meant by electronic document. There is a reliable assurance as to integrity of document from the time when it was first regarded in the final form. That document capable of being displayed of the person to one in presented provide and prevention of the act of this act shall apply to vary and all requirement of existing law of formalities and exception of document of their validity. Ito naman yung electronic signature. Legal recognition of electronic signature. An electronic signature on the electronic document shall be equivalent to the signature of the person on a written document. The signature is electronic signature and provided by shallow that prevent not already in the preserved and electronic document exists under which. So yun yung types of electronic data. Dito naman tayo sa Access Device Regulation Act of 1998, ADRA. An act regulating the issuance of use access device, probability computing, and accommodating event and theories, provide financial, and for other purpose. Republic Act Number 84. Others known as Act regulating the insurance and use of access device, probability, fundamentally, and accommodate related theories, providing finance and for other purpose. Punished a person who use an access device, particularly a credit card, without any authority in the office owner. State that any person who obtain the money and anything that is available that use an access device with solely intent and different with integrity to gain fleeing one motive has been executed will be held liable for a crime punished with a fine and imprisonment. Dito naman tayo sa the 2012 Data Privacy Act DPA. This act shall be known as a Data Privacy of 2012. This is the policy of state to protecting the fundamental human right of privacy, community, and ensuring free flow of information to promote innovation and growth. The importance of data privacy is preventing individual person information and communication system in the government and the private sector, creating for this purpose a national privacy commission and for other purpose. Ito naman yung isa. The main principle of data privacy is a principle of transparency, legitimate purpose, and discretionality. The processing of the personal data shall be allowed subject to adherence the principle of transparency, legitimate purpose, and probability. This is my last report. What is access control? Access control is a fundamental component of data security that discriminates who allowed to access and use company information and resources. Thus, authorization access control policies make sure use are who they are that they have approved access to company data. Access control is a security measure with is put in place to regulate the individuals that can view, use, or access the registration environment. Various access example can be found in the security system, our doors, key locks, fence, biometric system. Yun yung main example niya, yung outdoors, key locks, fence, biometric system, motion detection, detector, badge system, and forth. The main types of access control system. Ito naman yung types ng access control system. Ang isa ay discretionary access control as a DAC. Ang isa ay role-based access control and mandatory access control. So, doon na po nagtatapos ang aking video presentation at sana may natutunan kayo sa aking presentation. At kung may mali man akong nasabi or na-report, kayo na pong bahala mag-contact. So, thank you po. My name is Nasrolah and Digandang from BSCS. Keep safe everyone. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon each and everyone. My name is Guiaber, BSCS 3. What is logical access control? Give some example. Logical access controls. Logical access control tools are used for credential validation, authorization, and accountability, and an infrastructure and the system with. For example, when an employee is fired, his or her badge access can be disabled, as can the employee's multiple system access account. Example, both physical and logical access control is guaranteed with regulation who or what can access restricted areas. But logical access control refers to restricting virtual access to data, digital resource, and computer networks, whereas physical access control restricts actual pedestrian footfall to buildings, rooms, and etc. What is biometric access control? Biometric access control is a use of the biometrical data to either grant or deny access to building or area of a building. More often than not, biometric access control look at things that are unequipped to each individual. This includes fingerprint, retina scans, facial recognition, and or voice. Who does biometric works? Who do biometric works? If you ever put your fingerprint into a device, you have a idea of how biometric works. Basically, you record your biometric information, in this case a fingerprint. The information is then restored to be accessed later for comprehension with live information. What is security audit? Independent reviews and examination of a system recording and activities to determine the accuracy of system control, ensure compliance with establishments security policy, and producer direct breaches in security service and recommended and any change that are indicated for countermeasure. What is the main purpose of the security audit? Security audit will help protect critical data, identify security loopholes, create a new security policies, and track the effectiveness of security strategies. Regular audit can help ensure employees stick to security practice and can catch new vulnerability. What are the type of security monitoring for computer system? Security monitoring sometimes refers to as security information monitoring or SIM or security event monitoring SEM involves collecting and analyzing information to detect suppressor behavior or unauthorized system change on your network. Defining which type of behavior should targeted alert and taking action on alerts as needed. What are security monitoring activities? Security monitoring is the automated process of collecting and analyzing indicator of potential security threats, then triggering these threats with appropriate action. And that is the end of my report. And once again, my name is Guiaber and thank you for listening.